In a previous videos, you learned what are toxins, how they are mimicking hormone or blocking the receptors, what are the signs and symptoms of the toxicity. And now you are wondering whether you should buy organic food or not, because you are not completely convinced and the price is quite high. So there is a list called Dirty Dozen and Clean 15. And every single year, one association is taking the test, it's independent association, and they create this list. The list is not changing as much. And for example, Dirty Dozen, that is a fruit and vegetable that is actually heavily polluted, high in pesticides and herbicides, and it is recommended to buy them in the organic quality. And you can see on the list, for example, strawberries. And why strawberries? So I used to make this mistake that many years ago for my children in February and March, when the strawberries came to the supermarket, I used to buy them and they came from Morocco. So if you think before you receive it to the supermarket, it's traveling for at least 2 or 3 days. And then it was on a shelf in a supermarket out of the fridge for another 2 or 3 or 4 days. So how comes that strawberries would survive 8 days or even more without changing the structure? Because you know that in summer, when you pick the strawberries and you leave them on the kitchen top, maybe within 1 or 2 days, they definitely turn bad because you don't treat them with any chemicals. So that's why strawberries are heavily sprayed so that they survive for a long time, and then you are eating it. And maybe you even notice that you have a skin reaction on them. Spinach. So if you have ever tried to plant spinach or even rucola in the garden, you know that all the insects, all the beetles, they love it, right? It's very attractive for them. So the spinach, nobody would be able to sell it. So the farmers are spraying it heavily. So in that case, I recommend, or even this organization recommends, to buy organic spinach. And the same would go for kale. Nectarines, peaches. You know that when you have them in your garden and you have them out of the fridge, again, they're so prone to turning bad and all this mold growing on them. Apples. Maybe you have noticed that when you are in a supermarket, these apples are completely shiny because they are waxed and they are heavily treated so that they basically survive with this beautiful shine for whole year. So if you were to mix baking soda and vinegar and you would wash this, you would actually see the thick layer of the wax on them. So I recommend buying organic apples and maybe even the ugly looking fruit, because that means it's higher in the phytonutrients, these antioxidants, because the plant had to basically fight to survive and created more of the toxins, but these healthy toxins that are helping us to be more resilient. And here in this list, I would also bring the celery. So there is this big fashion from influencers to drink for 3 weeks celery juice. So just in case you are in this wave, which I absolutely don't recommend from the scientific point of view, you would anyway want to buy organic celery. And if you want to enjoy time to time celery juice, maybe once or twice per week, try to combine it with other ingredients that are good for the detoxification of the liver. So for example, broccoli, that is high in sulfur. It has also the amino acid cysteine and many vitamins and minerals, and of course the organic apples. Now let's look at the list of food that you actually don't need to buy in organic quality. So this is called Clean 15. And on the list, you can see, for example, even avocado and kiwi. I personally buy avocado and even kiwi in organic quality. And also I like to support farmers, and I'm buying directly from the farmers. So there is a website called Crowd Farming, and you can buy directly from the farmer. It is not cheaper, or it's not any cheaper than in a supermarket, but it's you know where the source is from, and it's usually organic.